For the purposes of Made It, I came up with an acronym because it helps me to remember things. Mentally able and determined to live an empowered life intentionally today.
Woo! Okay.
That's the educator in me, I can't help it, it's how I teach kids. Can I repeat it? Sure.
Yeah.
Mentally able.
Wait there, wait. Mentally able.
Okay, have you all got your pens?
Yeah.
Excellent. Mentally able, determined to live an empowered life intentionally today.
Live life empowered.
Mentally able and determined to live an empowered life intentionally today.
I like that.
Adele asked me earlier, what are you going to say today? And I said, I've got no clue. I really didn't. And I sat there and I thought, hang on, I can make an acronym out of that. So that was my starting point. But you know what? It fits. Because for far too long, I was mentally unable, living a disempowered life in anything but today. Largely because the story I was telling myself, born on the back of childhood trauma to a degree, was that I wasn't good enough, big enough, clever enough, pretty enough. Yeah, I used to say things like, yeah, take my picture, I'll put it in the window, keep the burglars away. Yeah? Jennifer Aniston stole my body, I'm waiting for her to give him back. I'm still waiting. Yeah, cheeky mare, she's made millions. Anyway, listen, the point is, it doesn't matter, except to us, what our story is. We buy into our story, sometimes. I did. Stephen Covey said, we can be defined by what happens to us, or we can be defined by how we overcome that. 6 years now, I've been defined by how I overcame it. Because 6 years ago, nearly, in September I will be 6. Because 6 years ago in September I was told I was 24 hours away from dying, having almost drunk myself to death on 5 bottles of Chardonnay a day. To be fair, most of it I enjoyed. However, when somebody tells you you're looking down the barrel and is going to be tells you in 24 hours you're going to be dead, you suddenly go, what the actual have I just done with 52 years? I know what I did. I gave that power away to someone else. I didn't do it willingly. I did it subconsciously. The bats in this particular belfry had taken roost a long time ago. But today, or should I say from that day onwards, when somebody tells you you're dying, ladies and gents, Oprah would have called it a light bulb moment. For me, it was July the 4th, New Year's Eve, and bonfire night, all going off all at once. Wow. I had so much to do, and 24 hours to do it in. It's a bit of a time frame. I didn't know how, if or when I would survive, but I know if I did, I would change. I would change, things would change, my life would change, my family's life would change. I would be present in their lives, instead of living inside my own mind. But more importantly, I knew somehow that I would pay it forward. A little while ago, I passed a comment to Karen, and I told her that my vision, my passion and my purpose in life today is to make the governments of this world. I started small, I stayed small for far too long, I'm starting at the top now.
Go, go. Yeah.
But for me, the governments of this world need to help us all to understand that it's far easier to raise a whole child than it is to mend a broken adult.
Yeah.
If we can do that, piece by piece, little by little, we can all make a change in our child's life. Parents, carers, educators, whether you have your own children or not, if you come into contact with children, you can do it. All it takes is for us to mirror a child's belief in themselves. When a child believes in themselves, they will strive, they will thrive, and you know what? Despite anything and in spite of everything, they will survive. The key is whether or not they survive mentally whole. So these days, I work with predominantly women on the adult side of things, mending their broken lives, helping them to piece together the jigsaw that is their broken life. But my true passion is getting into schools and working with kids, sometimes in disadvantaged areas, sometimes not so. Mental ill health has no discriminatory factors. It doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care how big you are, what colour you are, what your religion is, your educational background or your financial status. It does not care. However, I do. I've just completed a 9-month programme in a school nearby where I live, where my only remit from a very, very, very enlightened head teacher, I have to say, was if these kids can pass a SATs test, they were year 6, so age 10. If these kids can pass a SAT test, that's a bonus. But I want these kids to be mentally healthy, happy, and whole. I want for my students what I would want for my children, and I said, in that case, we can do business. Those kids literally came to me, not able to look at me, didn't want to put their hand up. Don't get, some of them were gobby kids, you know, but some of them were just, they were there for a reason. They had the most, you know, sorrowful look in their eyes, and yet they were all actually fairly well looked after kids, and you know, there wasn't anything particularly very wrong. They just didn't believe in themselves. So if a kid that comes from a reasonable background can sit before you in a classroom not believing in themselves, what do you think that little kids who come from backgrounds where they don't know when breakfast's coming, if it's coming? You know? We need to understand that we need to teach our children. It's not inherent in all of us to stand up for ourselves. We don't all inherently have self-belief. We don't all think the world exists just for us. Yeah? Lots of us sit in a corner, become reclusive. Or, as happened with me, you become the ultimate performer. This has never held any fear for me, ever. I was that kid who could not dance on the front row making a fool of myself. I didn't care. Because for a kid that didn't get much attention when they're growing up, any attention is good, right? Except not always. So the way I work with kids these days is to mirror their beliefs. I told this story at WEF this last week. I had a lad that was in my class, and the remit was, tell me what you want to be when you grow up. Let's start at 16. What do you want to be when you're 16? And this lad came to me and he said, I want to be a Jedi warrior, miss. I said, that's cool. 3 kids, 5 grandkids, you get used to thinking on the spot, but you know what? I said, okay, that's not a problem, Jake. We can do this, pal. You know, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to get you through school, then we'll get you through senior school, and by the time we finish with you, you'll have a degree. You can either then go to RADA, learn to act, catch a plane to California, knock on George Lucas's door and say, here you go. I'm your next opportunity for the best Jedi warrior ever. Or you can do it for real. You can join the space program. Britain's, NASA, whoever. It doesn't matter. The sky's not the limit, ladies and gents. We are. When we empower our children to understand that they can do, be and say and become absolutely anything they want, no matter how ridiculous we think it is, it doesn't matter. Because 5 minutes later, they want to do something else. Yeah, they do. This lad's 10. This was September. He walked in after Christmas holidays and went, forget the Jedi warriors. I'm not even joking, you were like, forget that, we're going to be a vet. So the winter term, he was going to be a vet. Whatever that young man turns out to be, I'm sure he will be very successful. All our children deserve to be successful. We all, in one form or another, ladies and gents, have made it. I urge you, if you've got children in your lives, no matter how you come into contact with them, as parents, carers, educators, aunts, uncles, grandmas, doesn't matter. Take time out to look into their eyes today or the next time you see them. Really, really look into their eyes. Because when you are down, out, fed up, miserable, things aren't going your way, have you ever heard the unbridled laughter of a child that just accepts everything from what it is? That makes my heart sing with joy, and I hope it does yours too. I hope it does yours too. The next time your kid or your neighbour's kid or whoever, anybody else, tells you they want to be a Jedi warrior, go out and buy them a saber stick. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. That's awesome. The sky is not the limit, you are.